Thursday, November 11, 2021, and the morning edition is live. On today's show, new health rules outlined in Parliament. It's Remembrance Day, remembering our war veterans. And the BCB gets a new chairman. So let's start the morning off right.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the morning edition. I'm LaDon Davis. We're now going to take you out to our streets where our morning traffic team is standing by with your Thursday morning traffic.
Good morning, LaDon, and good morning, Bahamas. Presently, I'm in the area of Tonic, William Darling Highway, and Samilo. And as you can tell, the traffic has increased tremendously this morning already for this time. I want to send a caution note to the drivers to please continue to drive with due care and attention. And I want to send a special thanks to those drivers out there who are adhering to the rules and the regulations of the street. The drivers out there who are utilizing their seat belts, the proper equipment to use their cell phones. I want to say thank you to those persons who are driving also within the safe speed limit. The importance too when it concerns the seat belt. Recently we would have had an accident on the Prince Charles Drive area, overturning vehicle. And when we would have arrived on the scene, there would have been a mother and her two little ones in the vehicle. Thank God nobody was seriously injured. And the significance of that accident, the mother, she was seatbelted, as well as her two children, one being as young as 1 year old. And let me tell you, we were very grateful, and she was especially grateful for the fact that she would have been wearing a seatbelt at that time. This is the importance of wearing it, and this is why we stress to wear your seatbelt is very important. Today is a good day, and we expect to have an even better day going throughout this day, and especially coming into the weekend. And I want to say to the drivers out there, please remember to drive with due care and attention, and have a good day. Back to you in Studios, LaDon.
Thanks a lot. And staying on the outside, a high-pressure center north of the area will slowly slide eastwards ahead of a prefrontal weather associated with another frontal system poised to affect the islands by Friday, and a weak cold front will meander over the southeast Bahamas. Boaters should exercise caution due to moderate northerly swells. Waterspout activity is likely in the southeast Bahamas, the threat of rip currents and rough surf conditions along the east coast. Therefore, beachgoers and swimmers should exercise caution in these areas. In all areas, weather partly cloudy to cloudy and breezy with showers or isolated thunderstorms, mainly occurring in the southeast Bahamas. Few quick passing showers are likely elsewhere. Small craft advisory is in effect due to the swells. Winds northeast to east at 15 to 20 knots with higher gusts, seas 4 to 7 feet but up to 8 feet offshore in moderate northerly swells. Daytime high temperature is 84 degrees with an overnight low of 66 degrees.
Come Saturday, emergency orders will fall away and they will be replaced by the Health Services COVID-19 Prevention and Management of Community Spread Rules and Health Services COVID-19 General Rules. And with the end to the emergency orders comes the resumption of several laws put on hold, including the holding of local government elections. Here's National Security Minister, the Honorable Wayne Monroe.
These ought to have happened in June of 2020. The order suspended them, and by Section 4 of the proposed bill, it is being sought that they be further extended for 90 days to permit the orderly conduct of elections to local government. The same applies, Madam Speaker, to school board elections.
Vaccinations are slowing down, according to Health Minister, the Honorable Michael Darville, who assured, though, that the government is working on plans to keep the COVID-19 vaccination drive going.
It is our responsibility to now go to the people in smaller, different vaccination, mobile units, different places, to make life easier for individuals who want to be vaccinated. As we speak, the Vaccination Committee, as well as members in my ministry, are exploring all of the avenues. We realize that at 40%, like many other parts of the world, we're now approaching the time when we're beginning to see some areas of vaccination hesitancy. These things are being explored, and it is our responsibility to move swiftly, along with our partners, inclusive of the United States, to assist us to ensure that we maximize the vaccines that we have in country.
Officials say there is no evidence little Bella Walker suffered a sexual assault, police issuing a statement explaining that the 4-year-old suffered blunt force trauma and had several fractures. Commissioner of Police Paul Rose shared these tips with parents and guardians.
If they are hearing or the kids, their children are complaining and saying that they don't want to go to the house, I don't want to go by uncle, or I don't want to go by auntie, that should be a red flag. And they should be aware that the fact that they are afraid to go there, something is happening and something possibly can be happening. For those that are able to speak for themselves, I would ask them to say something. Say something either to a teacher, say something to a sister or a brother. And then I want to say to the parents that when your children come to you and give you these information, don't just dismiss it. Don't just tell them, kind of you're lying. But look into it with his weight, because at the end of the day, we don't need another one of our children to be injured or assaulted in any kind of way.
Some members of Parliament pausing for a moment of silence in memory of 4-year-old Bella. Minister of State for Legal Affairs, the Honorable Jomo Campbell, spoke to plans to establish a sex offences court.
Madam Speaker, I want to take this time to mention and to reaffirm my commitment as Minister to pass and strengthen the necessary laws to enhance the protection of our most vulnerable amongst us, our children. It is our desire to see the enhancement of the administration of justice in this regard through the creation of a sexual offences court. Madam Speaker, I have practiced in our legal system for over 16 years, and I know firsthand the challenges it faces. I wish to take this opportunity to say that the AG and I will do our endeavor best not to interfere in the judicial process, but to ensure that all and sundry have the necessary tools to enable the smooth, swift, and equitable dispensation of justice in our Bahama land.
And it's Remembrance Day here in the Bahamas, a day we pause to reflect on the lives and sacrifices made by our war veterans who served in the British Army in World Wars I and II. This year, another scaled-down ceremony will be held due to COVID-19 protocols. The Governor-General, Prime Minister, other officials, and representatives from the British Legion are expected to lay wreaths in the Garden of Remembrance. That ceremony will be carried live on the ZNS network. The first Remembrance Day was on the 11th of November 1921. Since then, all countries in the Empire set aside this day to remember fallen heroes.
And when we come back, a familiar face taking the top chair at the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas. So keep it locked.
Throughout our lifetime, we must all make decisions. No matter how we choose, the right one just needs to be made. Like having J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers as your insurance partner. We've been serving the Bahamas for over 100 years. Whether you need home, motor, marine, or commercial insurance, make the right decision. Call 397-2100 or visit jsjohnson.com.
J.S. Johnson Insurance. Peace of mind.
You are a healthcare worker. Thank you for fighting on the front lines against COVID-19. It is normal to feel stressed when taking care of others who don't feel well. But remember to take care of yourself. Don't forget to rest between shifts, eat healthy meals, engage in physical activity, and stay connected to family and friends. Avoid harmful coping strategies like drinking alcohol. For managers of healthcare workers, the same tips apply to you. Here's how you can help. Consistently give updates. rotate staff between high and low stress level functions, encourage work breaks, and ensure that they know where they can find help. We are here for you.
Neighborhood Watch Council holding a prayer vigil tonight in Elizabeth Estates, remembering the lives of those lost to violence in that community in recent times. Joining us live to speak about that event is Chairman of the Bahamas National Neighborhood Watch Council, Keno Wong. Mr. Wong, welcome to the morning edition.
Good morning, LaDawn, and good morning, Bahamas.
So, Mr. Wong, tell us a little bit more about tonight's event in the Elizabeth Estates community.
Well, first of all, I want to say happy Remembrance Day to the Bahamas and to our veterans who fought in the war, and so we acknowledge them and so forth. And therefore, for tonight in the Elizabeth Estate, it comes under the direction and leadership of one of our liaison officers, Sergeant Deante Jones Coakley, who thought fitting, as she is the liaison officer for the Eastern District, to partner with the residents of Elizabeth Estate and also with the Member of Parliament for Elizabeth, JoBeth Colby Davis, to bring in awareness, but also to bring love and peace and unity in that community of Elizabeth Estate. And so therefore tonight we plan to have a prayer vigil that will really bring the community together in the Elizabeth Estates division, but also in the Eastern Division for the Bahamas National Neighborhood Watch Council.
Now, Elizabeth Estates has had its fair share of crime. What advice do you have for residents in terms of creating a safer community for them to live in?
Well, one of the main primary objectives of the Bahamas National Neighborhood Watch Council is to continually partner with the Royal Bahamas Police Force, also to observe and report. And so therefore, a word of encouragement to our residents throughout the Bahamas is to continue to be your neighbor keeper. Do things that will encourage the neighbors to come together as one. We also encourage communities that are within the NNWC to seek ways to install CCTV cameras, to install camera systems in their homes, to have proper lighting in their communities. So at the end of the day, we will put a dent into the crime that comes into our community. So therefore, we in the NNWC encourage communities to come together as one. And like I said, continue to be our brothers and sisters keepers.
Are you able to talk to us a little bit about the event last evening to reflect on the life of young Bella?
I will dare to say that on last evening in the major subdivision of Collins Avenue, we had approximately about over 200 individuals that came to show their love and support for Bella. Her life was taken at a young age, at 4. And even as a father, it really hits home that we have to be more conscious of what we see. And I want to encourage our community leaders and our community residents, when you see something, say something. Do not just hold it back, but call. No matter how small it may be, report it to the authorities. If you don't want to call the police, then call a pastor. If you don't want to call a pastor, then call Crime Stoppers. If you don't want to call Crime Stoppers, then reach out to a community leader. And during this time, as we go into the festive season of Thanksgiving and into the Christmas holiday, I want to say to all of our residents, observe and observe. Observe what you are doing. I know night falls very quickly, and so therefore, if you're coming home late, call a neighbor and let them know that, hey, you're running behind schedule, you're coming home late. If you know you're going to be out your homes, turn on the lights or get the dusk to dawn lights that comes on when the sun sets so you could be safe in your communities.
And talk to me about any, future or existing partnerships or new partnerships that have been forged on the other islands in the NWC.
Well, I dare to say this. I'm glad you asked the question. Bahamas, I dare to say that one of our liaison officers went into Inagua, and that is Corporal Kay Forbes from the Northeastern Division under the leadership of Chief Superintendent Adley. She went into Inagua to assist, and she saw the need to create a national neighborhood watch program. And so the residents of Inagua were excited, and they want to be a part of the program. And I dare to say that she has already had a meeting with them, and we're looking forward into the new year to have our numbers strengthened. And so with that being said, we have our groups in Grand Bahama, Eleuthera, Abaco, Exuma, and soon, hopefully, in Inagua. And so, of course, we know the central here is in New Providence. And with over 167 watch groups, we will continue to grow strong as we continue to create safer and better communities throughout the Bahamas.
Mr. Wong, thank you so much for joining us here on the Morning Edition again, and all the best to you tonight on your event.
Thank you so much.
Well, strength in numbers, the Ministry of Social Services and Urban Development, the Department of Gender Affairs, the local Men's Desk, and the Zonta Club of New Providence have partnered this month to heighten awareness, educate, and advocate for the elimination of violence against women, children, and men. The theme, Healing the Bahamas Through Better Relationships, Program Coordinator for the Male Desk, Henry Johnson, and President of the Zonta Club New Providence, Marissa Mason-Smith, are determined to advance the cause.
Data shows us, according to the International Men's Day website, of the challenges that men face as they relate to where they stand. Men face health challenges in a series that needs to be addressed in order to have our homes, communities, and our country function to the fullest potential. The current research also tells us that men have a 3 times higher rate than women of suicide. 1 in 3 men have been victims of domestic violence as well. Yes, men are also subjected to domestic violence.
And we have seen the scourge of violence and its effects in our community. We have seen, as a result of the pandemic, the increase in reported cases of violence. And I don't want to expand on that at this time because of there is a lot to be said. But we have seen an increase. Just this past week, we have seen the death of a young girl who is really created even a greater awareness of why we do what we do. And we again send our condolences to that family, and our prayers are with you for little Bella.
Activities include International Men's Day, National Women's Week, and Zonta's International 16 Days of Activism. Director of the Department of Gender and Family Affairs, Dr. Kelly Philippe, says gender equality must also be addressed.
Gender equality is a human right. Everyone benefits from gender equality. It's essential for our economic prosperity and for attaining the Sustainable Development Goals, and in reducing, eliminating, and eradicating violence in our Bahamian society. Societies that value women and men are equal, are safer and healthier. Let us value each other, healing the Bahamas through better relationships. We have come together to stand for gender equality. We've come together to stand against all forms of violence, in all forms, perpetrated against women, men, transgender, diverse people, children, and families in the Bahamas.
Today is Remembrance Day, and this year marks the 100th anniversary of the Commonwealth Group of British Legion branches, including the Bahamas branch. It also marks the 100th anniversary of the poppy, which is the symbol of Remembrance Day. Ramiko Knowles had more on activities over in Grand Bahama.
On Thursday, November 11th, the world will pause to celebrate the contributions of millions of men and women around the world who fought in World Wars I and II. The Minister of State for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Ginger Moxie, says more than 800 men and women from the Bahamas fought alongside those men and women, and they must never be forgotten.
As we commemorate Remembrance Day this week, I'm extremely privileged to present poppies to great Bahamians. On behalf of the people of Grand Bahama, I salute you and I thank you for your service. I would also like to recognize the band leaders who have for many years assisted with the Remembrance Day celebrations on Grand Bahama. We thank you and we appreciate you.
The minister also taking the time to present poppies to those in attendance. Dolores Kelman received a poppy on behalf of her father, veteran Henry Kelman, who is the only surviving veteran on Grand Bahama.
My dad loves to tell stories, and so we got a lot of his, war stories. Even like for breakfast, we got accustomed to eating fried tomatoes, which he said was a meal, that they ate in the Army. And so it gives me great pleasure. I'm honored to accept this poppy on behalf of my dad today.
Thank you District Commissioner for Grand Bahama in the Scouts Association of the Bahamas, Reginald Dean, receiving a poppy on behalf of the Scouts.
Well, receiving a poppy is significant because back in the day of school, primary, even before the primary school, it was a day we were looking forward for and to come. And also, to date, my boys and Scouts are still asking, when are we going to run another march? So it's a great thing to be able to be a part of this day.
This Remembrance Day is especially significant to the director of the Bahamas Brass Band, Pastor Barry Morris. He says they lost a fellow band member who was also a World War veteran, Bishop Cephas Ferguson.
He was laid to rest this year, and so that was a significant loss to us. And so this particular year becomes a little more sentimental to us because we reflect on him and his contributions that he made to the band, as well as the contributions that he made to the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Bishop Cephas was a remarkable man.
The 59th Remembrance Day church service will be held on Sunday, November 14th at 4 p.m. at the Mary Star of the Sea Roman Catholic Church.
And as we head to the break, we take a look back at today in Bahamian history. On November 11th, 1925, the Bahamas War Memorial was revealed in memory of those who had sacrificed their lives in World War I. Also on November 11th, 1997, Kevin Woodside won a silver medal at the World Powerlifting Championship in the Czech Republic.
Everything is changing, and your favorite hardware and home improvement store is getting with the program. We Buy You Sell is rolling out its new online shopping feature. If you go to our website, wbusbahamas.com, it's a quick and easy 3-step process. Step 1, browse the gallery and select your item. Step 2, add to cart. And Step 3, check out. Go to our website, wbusbahamas.com, to shop with us today.
PrEP is for people who are HIV negative and are at risk of contracting HIV. When used properly, PrEP can provide a high level of protection against HIV, and it is even more effective when it is combined with condoms and other prevention methods. PrEP has been revolutionary for HIV prevention, but not enough people know about it. It is important to spread the word about PrEP and encourage people to have this conversation with their healthcare provider. For more information about PrEP, contact the Bahamas National AIDS Program at 242-604-9060. Get informed. Make the right choice for you.
Well, a familiar face returns to the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas, this time as its new head. The BCB's former executive and on-air radio personality turned politician Picewell Forbes has taken on a new role as its chairman. Introducing Forbes to General Manager Kaylisa DeVoe Isaacs was Minister of State with cabinet responsibility for the corporation, the Honorable Miles LaRoda.
One of the reasons that the decision cabinet made to appoint Mr. Forbes is he's got a history in broadcasting. As a matter of fact, his life in broadcasting predated him entering the world of politics. And so he's got a wealth of experience. He speaks the language of the Broadcasting Corporation, and some of the issues that are very important to the staffers he would know because he would have lived those experiences. And so sometime if you speak into a friendlier voice, there is a possibility that changes would come because he's speaking from a personal position as to what has transpired in the past. Some of those issues are still alive today, and hopefully we could deal with them in this term.
Happy to return, Chairman Forbes reflected that the BCB is really his only formative place of employment over his 24 years in the public service. Aside from a commitment to addressing lingering concerns quickly, here's what else is on his agenda.
Also get our staff exposure and various programs to upgrade themselves, and also to give those persons who felt shortchanged over the years opportunities. So I look forward to visiting also Grand Bahama. And by extension, one of those pet peeves of mine is to do something major for radio. Radio is my first love, and I have a little thing in my heart when it comes to the national station itself, and also what's happening in Grand Bahama. And also look forward to days where we could have MOUs with the small entities in broadcasting in this country. ZNet must be holistic in its approach, and also be one that also embraces those things that are changing and evolving in the world of media and broadcasting. As a hard media institution, the corporation must rise to the forefront. We must maintain our state as number one in this market, and not only in this market, also regionally, and also look at the wider world. And so I'm proud to be back here in the corporation, and I think we can expect some great things going forward.
It's the gift that keeps on giving as telecommunications brand Rev gears up to launch its 31 days of giveaways. It's all a part of the company's goal to deliver real magic this Christmas. In addition to offering fresh packages to new and existing customers for the holidays, Rev will also be paying forward by giving away some $250,000 in gifts and prizes.
So the next few days, even our staff and Rev Elves will even have an opportunity to be a part of this give back. They are going to be able to nominate loyal cable or Rev subscribers to be able to bring a gift on their behalf. So we'll have a team to follow them. So, we'll also be doing this in New Providence, Abaco, Grand Bahama, and Eleuthera, so they can all get a slice of the real magic of Christmas.
Rev Elves also noting that their promotions for the holidays will also allow children to place a call to Santa. And that's not all, though. They're getting up close and personal by taking their initiative into local communities.
So over the course of the next 8 weeks, we will have a community-based event and a Christmas campaign tied to the new product Trio Plus that Mark would have mentioned, and our customers are going to be eligible to win up to $250,000 in cash and prizes. So prizes include things like tickets to NBA and NFL games, because of course we are the home of sports. We'll be able to give free services for a full year. Rent and mortgage payments. It's been a rough year for a lot of our customers, and we want to be able to give back to our community.
Throughout our lifetime, we must all make decisions. No matter how we choose, the right one just needs to be made. Like having J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers as your insurance partner. We've been serving the Bahamas for over 100 years. Whether you need home, motor, marine, or commercial insurance, make the right decision. Call 397-2100 or visit jsjohnson.com.
J.S. Johnson Insurance, peace of mind.
One of the things that the church must be aware of, that this is no time and season for us to get so deep and holy that we can't hail folk who hurting next to us. We can't hail the people in our neighborhood. We can't see how hungry they are. We can't get too deep, brothers and sisters, and so anointed that we forget that if someone hurt you, you gotta forgive them.
Sundays at 8:30 a.m. on ZNS TV 13.
Social media was one of the popular means of communication during the lockdown periods that sparked a wider conversation, and new words bloomed. Some 455 words were added to the dictionary. Find out what those words are from our Kelsey Johnson.
Forming words for the Scrabble game was easy until you picked up the dictionary and realized that word does not exist. Not only did you toss away some much-needed points, but you're literally back at square one, trying to find a word that will give you the win. Well, one thing the pandemic has taught us, nothing is normal anymore, and switching up the way you live can flip to words you now choose. Thanks to Merriam-Webster Dictionary, the trusted dictionary for English word definitions, meanings, and pronunciation added 455 new ones to the dictionary last month. The new words are grouped into categories for online culture and communications, the coronavirus, tech and science, pop culture, medicine, politics, and food. Some of the new words include dad bod. It's an informal word that simply describes an average father's figure, especially if he's slightly overweight and not extremely muscular. Fluffernutter has grabbed the attention of many who were locked away during the pandemic. The sandwich made with peanut butter and marshmallows jammed between two slices of white sandwich bread is a hit. This kitchen appliance is another winner for those who don't want to press the pause button on their favorite show. The air fryer, an airtight, usually small electric appliance for quick cooking of food's means of convection, currents circulated rapidly by a fan. Super spreader was not a word, If you're anything like me, that word existed way before the start of the pandemic, but according to the experts, it just came around. Vaccine passport is also a new but familiar one. It's a physical or digital document providing proof of vaccination against one or more infectious diseases, such as COVID-19. Just because we're in lockdowns doesn't mean language stopped evolving. The business world also got a few new ones to use, like blank check company, a corporate shell set up by investors for the sole purpose of raising money through an initial public offering to acquire another business yet to be determined, called also special purpose acquisition company.
We also want to remember those 4 men who lost their lives on the HMBS Flamingo. And be sure to stay tuned to the ZNS network for news as it happens, TV and radio updates throughout the day. Then you can tune into the Northern Edition at 6:30 and the Bahamas Tonight at 7. And that's a wrap for us this morning. For the entire team, I'm LaDawn Davis. Have a great morning, everyone.